So Carla Lourenzo is part of the European Blue School coordinating team. She's a project officer at Ciencia, Viva, and she's a marine biologist and passionate about communicating how the ocean shapes our lives and how each individual can make a difference in contributing to a healthy planet. So Carla, over to you.
Thank you, Nicola. I will just put up the presentation. I believe you can all see it, right? Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Nicola, for this joyful introduction. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to present you this warming initiative that we call Network of European Blue Schools. I'm going to tell you why it is being created, what it is. But first of all, let us just recall how inappropriate it is to call this planet Earth when it is quite clearly ocean. And we are directly and indirectly linked to the ocean. Whether we live by the coast or whether we live up in the mountains, we are connected to it through what we eat, we drink, we breathe, we use, and even how we relax and how we enjoy life. So the ocean is our planet's life support system. And that's why it is such a priority to protect it and to understand it. And while the ocean and the seas are suffering under increasing human pressure, truth is that over the last 15, 16 years, scientists, educators, municipalities, NGOs have been empowering citizens throughout Europe and, well, throughout the world under projects and initiatives to increase their knowledge about the ocean and also to make them responsible for their actions and giving them the tools to know what decisions to make in order to protect the ocean. Because if we are protecting the ocean, we are protecting ourselves. So with this in mind, the EU for Ocean Coalition, which is supported by the European Commission, DGMAR, as we have been listening to all this day, creates now the network of European Blue Schools. So what is this network? Previously, I was saying why it is important to know the ocean, and this is the rationale behind the network. This network is the basis of collaborative work of schools that have the ocean as a central interest. Schools that want to further explore how they are linked to the ocean, whether they live right by the coast or in an inland community with no link to the ocean. Because the thing is that, and while we speak about ocean literacy, we are not only talking about the big blue, we are talking about all aquatic ecosystems. So rivers, lakes, mangroves, all this needs to be considered. So not only the big blue that it's offshore and mostly unknown. USHIN. So as we are speaking about a network of schools, obviously we consider students, we consider teachers, education professionals, but not only these people. We intend to have on board entities and institutions that might think they are not directly linked to the ocean, but they are. And in this case, it could be the youth that we just heard in the other workshop, or even the platform members. And as I was saying, even if some entities might think that they might not be related, we have here the opportunity to show that that's not the case and that we can work together on this. Why? If I have here teachers listening to me, and I hope we have some other teachers apart from our speakers, I want to convince you. So there's 4 or 5 really good reasons. The first of all is to make your students agents of change, to make your students the change that we want to see in the world. And for them to protect the ocean, they need to know the ocean, they need to understand it. And also they can share experience, and you as a teacher can share experience with other schools in your country or outside your country, you can find inspiration and you can have support to do those actions, to develop those projects on the thematics that you most like. So obviously we can give you suggestions, but we don't enforce you specifically to work on such a topic. You can choose, so you have here the liberty to choose. And while doing this, you will work towards receiving the European Blue School certification. So your school, by working on the ocean, will have this label, will have this certification, and the teachers involved in it will have specific training to accomplish this. How are we doing this? So if we think not only on a technical way, technical supporting way, we need to consider that this is a wide EU effort to bring in interested parties together. As I was saying, not only schools, but other institutions, other entities, NGOs, companies, all these to work together, and no country will be left behind. And when we speak about this, we want to make clear that this needs to be inclusive. This is an inclusive approach, an inclusive network. And an example is the handbook that my colleague Viva will tell you about in a couple of minutes, that is now starting to be written in English, but it will be translated to as many languages as we speak in Europe. And this reflects the fit for purpose that we want to accomplish and we want to share with you. An approach that includes diversity of cultures, diversity of educational contexts. So we are all aboard the same ship, and we can work together on this. And it's not this network, this approach, it's not fixed now, it's not blocked, closed. It will improve through time, it will adapt, it will evolve with your opinions, with your feedback, because we are starting, but we need to get better and better, and we can only do that with your feedback and with your support. And also on this fit for purpose, or not leaving anyone behind, we will make sure that both coastal and landlocked schools of the different sea basins will be involved, because the ocean doesn't need to be that big blue thing that it's offshore and it's only a part of the population can reach. We can all be linked to it. We are all linked to it. So we need to work all together on this. And the projects might be from secondary level or primary level. They can last 1 year and jump to the other school year, or they can only last a few months. This is up to the teachers, to the students who are working on that. But it will encompass the different realities. And the teachers and the students, they have the opportunity then to participate in sea basin events and to exchange knowledge, activities, experiences in these initiatives. And one of the maybe most important things that we need to tell you about and we want to make clear is that we are not competing with each other on this. When we speak about collaboration, when we speak about cooperation, it's because we want to work together with the other European initiatives, with the other European programs that already work on the ocean or with ocean thematics. So for instance, if we speak about Eco Schools, which is a well-known international program on the environment, on sustainability, on the ocean, we are not competing. We are rather working together, and this is what we want, to reduce bureaucracy, to reduce the amount of work that teachers might have while working on different programs. This is to be kind of an umbrella of different approaches to make sure that we can all work together on this. On a more technical approach on how to do this, we have now, we are finishing it, a back office platform to assist teachers on applications. the same way we will have the European platform where the participants, where the teachers will share their projects, where they can exchange experiences, they can discuss with each other, work together if that's the case. We will have resources to assist this work, and specifically, apart from training that we will produce, we have our most important tool, which is the handbook that is going to be released really soon, as well as the registration for the European Blue Schools certification. And apart from this, because the certification is for schools, not for students or for teachers, the certification is given to schools. We will also acknowledge teachers, this dynamic, inspiring, strong adults who guide the students and who will be named, or what we warmly call blue teachers. And in the end of the event, of the project of EU for Ocean, we will award the most inspiring projects. Now, how to move on to this. You have to register at the Maritime Forum. This is the first step. And then when registering to become a European Blue School, which is, it will be released pretty soon, you have to follow, you have to understand the criteria, and Evie will just show you a glimpse of that. Follow the criteria to become European Blue School and register your project. And now, just going back a bit to one of the first slides, where I was saying that this planet is mostly water, we must not forget about that. And we must not forget that if there's no water, there's no life. And if there's no blue, there's no green, as Sylvia would say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carla. Really passionate. And I hope that helps a little bit to kind of, helps you to understand that this really is grassroots. This isn't, let's make some resources and give them to teachers. This is, let's bring teachers together right from the start to build this project and the projects together. So that's why we believe really that this really could work. So any teachers you know, let them know. Okay, so next we're going to find out a little bit more about the handbook that we've been creating, and that has been created because of focus groups that we've had, as I said in the intro earlier on this morning, with real teachers. So Evie's going to tell us how far we are with that and a bit more information. Evie is one of my favourite people in the entire world. She is part of the European Marine Science Educators Association, founding member, and she's also part of the European Blue School coordinating team. So she's a geography teacher by training, and has also worked for 13 years as a marine science educator and communicator at the Flanders Marine Institute. So Evie, over to you. But just quickly, if you've got any questions forming in your mind, folks, there'll be a couple of minutes after Evie's spoken to just pop those on the Slido that Vanessa will share. So think of some questions. Evie, thanks.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Nicola, for introducing me. Now, let me start by saying that the handbook, which I'm about to present, is not entirely finished. Frankly, we expect it to be truly finished in about 5 years from now, as this is a community effort, and we will improve it every year so it can fit to the quickly changing education realities. We do have a first edition though, which we consider already great, as it was created after consulting with our national contacts and about 75 marine education specialists and 300 teachers. So I would like to thank them all today to work with us during the lockdown and such a challenging teaching situation we have today. So we went to work with their advice on what a European Blue School should be. Some of the points you see here that I will explain in this very short presentation. So our education model of a European Blue School It exists of 10 keys, or you can call them criteria, to become a blue school that you see here. The model is simple, yet it has all the ingredients to make a change in the school and in the community. Our main foundations are that a class develops a Find the Blue challenge. Through this Find the Blue challenge, the students explore how they are connected to the ocean or the sea, and whether they live close by or far away. And this project, it has, of course, interlinked activities, and it produces a clear output. And we find it important that it involves all the students in the class in every step of the project management and the implementation. So the students, they feel empowered and also responsible for their project. And this is done together with a local partner. So we want them to collaborate with somebody from the ocean stakeholders, and that is shared with the community. Those are the 5 criteria that are mandatory to receive a certification of a European Blue School. So we think that all classes in Europe have the capacity to set up such a project. In a more advanced Blue project, you see further teachers can offer their students more authentic learning experiences, such as taking them out to the sea or a river. They can start working multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary, or mobilize more than one classroom in their school, or perhaps the kitchen in the school. Or they can even collaborate with the school at the coast or inland, depending on where they are, or go beyond the borders and establish a connection with the school from another country. Such type of projects, they depend greatly on which education system you're in, and they might not always be possible to develop. But once you start with the Blue project, you will see that there are always opportunities to take your project one step further. So this education model of a Blue school, it is based on several important initiatives, programs, policies, and frameworks. A few of them you can see here, and they are further explained in the handbook. You can see here, of course, the ocean literacy movement started by our American friends who built an ocean literacy framework for schools. And then you also have the Portuguese school label, Escola Azul, which is a true role model for this initiative. And there are, of course, other successful school labels, such as the French Air Marine Educative, which have been here a long time, also like eco schools, and they're all a great source of inspiration for this certificate. Further, you see in the European Blue Schools, we let students explore active European citizenship through the ocean subjects. And via connecting to ocean stakeholders, they get to know the European blue economy and perhaps possible blue careers as well. Lastly, being in education for such a long time, you discover that an inquiry-based or project-based model proves to be a successful learning strategy as the students can explore themselves. And also for us, it seems imperative to build a connection to the sea, so and bring students to the coast or the river. Especially in these times, outdoor learning will become more and more important to keep our students healthy. Okay, in the handbook for a beginning teacher, we developed a step-by-step guide, taking you through all the criteria. We want to emphasize that developing a Find the Blue challenge starts with first a creative and democratic process, where the teacher facilitates the selection of a real-life topic by the students, which they will investigate. We believe the students are perfectly capable to design their own project and to go outside the classroom and connect themselves to the local ocean stakeholders and the community. And this will make students experts for their project. So, as in all teaching activities, it must be based on the national curriculum, of course. So we called in the help of European SchoolNet, to analyze several of the school curricula in 9 countries, which you can see here, and to find blue entry points in the curricula. It's needless to say that the ocean is not an integral part of the school curricula as such, and it reflects that ocean blindness that you also see in the society. But current ocean issues such as climate change and ocean health, they can be easily linked to the different subjects in the European curricula. From science courses, languages, sports, arts, you can marinate the curriculum topics and add in this way more ocean content to your classroom. So in the handbook, we will show a few of the so many great projects out there that are the work or of maybe a single individual passionate teacher, or have been set up by a scientist or scientific institute who wishes to share its enthusiasm for the ocean. So in this handbook, you will see about 30 amazing projects which are really worth of your attention. And later, all these projects and all the schools that have received the European Blue School certification will have their own webpage at the Maritime Forum website. So look at the work of the other teachers, get inspired, and see what works for you and for your students. Via the Maritime Forum website, which you probably already know now, and via eTwinning, we will have a group on Blue Schools. We will share all the resources that are made by the teachers in the network. Those who have seen the previous workshops today, they know that the EU for Ocean platform has already maybe 100 providers of resources, and then more will join. So it is our aim to be a gateway for teachers to all of these resources. In the handbook, we bring European Atlas of the Seas under the attention as, guess what? It is now available in 24 languages. So a great education tool for your projects. Check it out. It was already mentioned by Carla. It brings me to this point, language. This is one of the main issues that we find a challenge within our association, EMSEA. Although you all seem to understand my Dutch-like English, English is in the most cases not your first language, I know that. We can communicate a little bit using our hands and a smile, but in a classroom, we still need to translate all those English resources. Therefore, we encourage teachers in your project to go to the local ocean stakeholders. Use their resources from your region in your language. And this project, we will start also, of course, by translating this handbook over the course of the project into all languages. And then we will see in the forum what else we can do to tackle this problem. Last in the handbook, and of course on the website, you will find all the information you need to get that European Blue School certificate and become a member of our community. So teachers, get to work, and I look very much forward to see all your projects. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much, Evie. That was, yes, get to work. Come on. Okay.
We had now
first question. And my colleague Jenny from the Marine Conservation Society in the UK. I'm going to pass that one to Carla, I think. How can other organisations get involved? Thank you.
Yeah, so I was saying the network might be considered for, especially for schools, but other organizations who want to be involved, they will have to register as well. So they don't need to register to get the certification, obviously, but they need to register at the Maritime Forum and then in the community of the European Blue Schools, so that we can then work together on this. What I can advise you is to stay tuned on our webpage, because we will be releasing all these really soon. So whether you're a teacher who wants to register your project, your school, or you are an organization that wants to be involved and to assist in work together with schools, you will have that. You will have the chance to do that.
Brilliant. And I think, Evie, very quickly, how can universities get involved?
Yes, well, there is certainly no age limit to who can develop a blue project, but there are certainly other ways that universities can also be involved in. I would advise them to become a member of our community, and then we can start seeing what they can do. Perhaps I'm just thinking out loud, developing a course on a certain topic. That would be excellent.
Yeah, or they could work together with schools from their region and assist them getting the certification, for instance. That could be also another way.
And maybe also the amazing research that's done in universities, that, you know, if you know that there's a local blue school in your area, you know, pass that on. It could be some great training for graduates, early career scientists, how to be with children and help them understand perhaps the complex research that you're doing. So there's loads of ways. Oh wow, we're getting lots of questions now, but don't worry everybody, these, as I said, are going to be saved, and we will answer them all, and they're going to go into an FAQ, frequently asked questions, part of the website that we will make public when the time is right.